Hello, Steve White, Trek by 89 for Steve Arts 89. Well, this is funny. Star Trek Discovery Season 3, Episode 11, Sukala, whatever, was so bad, even the shills don't like it. I was absolutely shocked. I watched Ketwolski's review, and I haven't watched one of his videos for ages because his perky shilliness just drives me nuts. And he didn't like it. He actually called it trash. Ketwolski called it trash. Wow. I'm like, did the shill money dry up? How can he say that? How can he say that and expect to get interviews with cast members and stuff like that, which is what he shills for? I was like, wow, really? Because he said it had bad writing, and he actually said it has let down the show as a whole, the whole series. I don't know if he said season or series. I think he said series, and season 3 had been kind of okay. And he wasn't satisfied with. He had two main issues. One was the reveal of what caused the burn. He found he wasn't satisfied. It didn't really make sense. If this creature was so, the explanation he found a bit ridiculous and Marvel-esque, superhero-esque. And he basically called it technobabble bullshit. So he's called it trash and bullshit. I'm like, oh my God, I'm like shook. Ketwolski is trashing an episode of Discovery. I can't believe it. And yeah, he was just going how he thought that was forced and it was ridiculous, because if this creature had this power and was so constantly scared, how could it not have had created another burn within 100 or 20 years or so, whatever, that it's been apparently living forever in this holographic environment? And why, if they're sending down people and they don't want to scare this creature, why would they not just appear as Kelpians? Why would it have other species if he's only ever been around Kelpians? So that didn't make any sense, which someone else pointed out. And the whole, we've only got 4 hours, the radiation. Why aren't they in EV suits? Spock went into a freaking volcano. That's what EVA or EV suits or EVA suits are for. So why weren't they in them? Why weren't they wearing... They're in the 31st century. Why didn't they have protective shields that they could just press and... Oh, I'm covered in a shield. Just like they had in... I think they had that in the animated series, or some aliens did. It's just bad writing. Plot holes so big you could drive a starship through it. I mean, my God. Even the Vengeance could fit through the plot holes in this freaking show. It's so bad, even Ketwolski doesn't like it. I mean, I'm just like, wow. I was watching because I thought, I don't know why. I haven't watched any of his reviews for ages, but for some reason I just thought, I'm filling time. I'm just trying to distract myself from the fact that it's Boxing Day. I managed to sleep through half of Christmas Day, which was a relief. Stayed up all night, went to bed incredibly late, slept for a few hours, went back to bed for a couple of hours, and then after watching a few episodes of Roseanne, and being tired from only sleeping 3 hours, I slept for another 3 hours, and then it was like already Boxing Day. So I kind of missed Christmas Day, which is good because it's depressing. Now at Boxing Day, I had some plans which have gone awry, which I'm going to do another video about, so no point bringing this up. But I thought, I was watching videos and I thought, Ketwolski, what's he going to say? I'm kind of curious to see what he says about this. Because the only thing he liked, the same thing that I liked, was that the burn wasn't Michael Burnham, it wasn't the Discovery, it wasn't some big bad trying to destroy the Federation or something. It was just something that just happened. And that's almost like Star Trek-ish, where it's like a situation that happens that has to be resolved, as opposed to like a baddie, a villain, which is how most other shows work, and which is how Discovery has pretty much worked the whole time. And the JJ films, and pretty much all the films since Wrath of Khan. But yeah, and the other thing he had an issue with, which, yeah, I sort of agree with, but I didn't really notice it so much, is Michael Burnham and Saru have kind of switched characters, where Michael Burnham suddenly has found her footing and has all of a sudden gone back to the Michael Burnham Starfleet officer, whereas before, for the whole season, she was struggling with, can I fit back into this mold I never fit into in the first place? Can I go back to sort of following up people's orders and all that and fitting in here, when she really wasn't, was just sort of doing her own outlaw thing. Now they've got her suddenly being the perfect officer, suddenly with no real reason, aside from the fact that maybe Giorgio said she was better than what she was being or something, but that doesn't really change anything. That wouldn't really justify a change in the character after a whole season arc establishing this issue. All of a sudden she's perfect, and now Saru's being irrational and impulsive and emotional. And over what? One Kelpium? It's not like the whole Kelpian planet was destroyed and, it's like the last of his race or something, or he's never met people of his kind or something. There's no reason to justify this, just reasons, like bad writing reasons, that's it. So, and he was a bit annoyed about that, and I'm like, wow, it's almost like he watched the show and actually saw it for what it is, as opposed to just sort of shilling his way through it and like, oh my god, it's the greatest thing ever, I love it. That's what he normally does. So now Saru is like the Burnham character, and some people are suggesting Saru's going to die and Burnham's going to take over, and that would make sense that they have to suddenly make her the perfect officer because she's about to become captain. So that would almost make sense. I hope that doesn't happen, but they're not getting as much money for the show as they used to, as you can see from the show. Maybe they can't afford Doug Jones anymore, so maybe he will be gone next season. They're shedding characters all over the place. They got rid of Michelle Yeoh. So maybe that's going to happen. So, but I just had to do a video because I was just shook that Ketwolski, one of the ultimate Star Trek Discovery shills, didn't like this episode, said the writing was bad, and actually called it trash and bullshit. I was like, wow. Almost made my day, but nothing is going to break the depression of Christmas alone. And COVID and everything. And if you're in another country, basically we in Melbourne have had almost 60 days without COVID. We've eliminated it. But because our neighbouring city, Sydney, hasn't learned anything from our mistakes, our hotel quarantine failed and we had a second wave. Hundreds of people died, which may seem like nothing in America or wherever you're watching this from, but we only had 100 people die in the first wave, so to have 800 people die in the second wave just in our state was really disturbing for us and shocking for us. And we've been COVID-free for 60 days, or 58, and the neighbouring Sydney, they didn't learn anything from our reviewing of our hotel quarantine. So they were allowing people to have exemptions. They were allowing the pilots to self-quarantine, which they weren't. They were just going out into the public. So they gave it to someone. They spread it around. So there's COVID all around Sydney. It's gotten to Queensland. It's in the water. No one's gone. Who's got it has gone and gotten tested, but it's there somewhere. And there's one person from Sydney and Melbourne who's tested positive. But who knows how many people? Because all the people were running out of Sydney to make their Christmas plans, basically, and probably I doubt these people were getting tested because they wouldn't want to get caught with COVID and have to quarantine for 14 days. So they're just going to not get tested just so they don't have to miss their plans and risk other people in the meantime. So none of this will show up for 5 days. So we're in the middle of that period where if someone has it, we wouldn't know yet because it probably wouldn't show yet. So even if they're getting tested, it probably wouldn't show yet. So basically, I can't go see Wonder Woman in the cinema, which, aside from the Keith Haring exhibit I missed at the National Gallery of Victoria, Wonder Woman was the only other thing I wanted to do that I'm missing due to COVID. And I'm a huge cinema person. I only see movies really in the cinema. I don't really watch them on TV, on video. I usually just watch TV series. I very rarely watch a film on TV. I see it in the cinema. Once I've seen it in the cinema, I kind of don't feel like I need to watch it again sometimes. So not being able to see Wonder Woman on the big screen is absolutely killing me because I loved Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, but not the first film because of the setting, the depressing Nazi setting, Nazi era setting, and then the stupid monster at the end kind of ruined it. So I was really looking for a contemporary setting with just normal villains. So I was really looking forward to this, and it's really depressing. But this cheered me up, seeing Ketwolski essentially do what he called a rant about Star Trek Discovery. It wasn't really a rant because, you want to rant, you watch McArandom or Doomcock, they rant. But he was just actually expressing disappointment and being critical like a normal person instead of being a shill. So that almost makes up for the fact that I have a ticket for Wonder Woman tonight and I won't be in that seat. I'm glad I'm giving her the money and supporting the box office, because apparently it's not doing well. Not a lot of people are going, whether it's COVID or bad publicity or the fact that the marketing doesn't resemble Wonder Woman at all and is unrecognisable. Who knows? But Ketwolski actually trashed Discovery. I think this warrants a video and a moment to like just reflect on that. How bad is Star Trek Discovery? Even the shills are actually like, they can't deny the issues with the show, the legitimate issues with the show. You can't call him racist or sexist or a phobe or whatever, or a hater. He's been an absolute shill fan of the show from the start, and even he can't hide from its true nature. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Maybe even ding the bell.